Hollywood productions have to deal with constant change, but sometimes they also have to deal with serious tragedies, like the death of an actor. It's not uncommon, and both film and TV series tackle these in different ways. The project, if completed, ends up as an eternal memorial, forever remembered for the unique and shocking tragedy. So let's take a look at some notable celebrities who died while they were in the middle of filming a movie or TV show. River Phoenix became a household name in the Stephen King film adaptation of Stand By Me, and enjoyed a rising acting career. Despite his kind heart and phenomenal talents, he sadly struggled with a demon that plagues many celebrities: substance abuse. It ended up getting the better of him on October 30th, 1993, at a club in Hollywood called the Viper Room. That night, he was scheduled to perform with the band, but never made it on stage. By the time paramedics had arrived, he had flatlined, and he was pronounced dead shortly after, in the early hours of Halloween. As for the film he was working on at the time, it was called Dark Blood. The thriller was the first to feature Phoenix as a villain, and it ended up being left unfinished for 19 years because of River Phoenix's absence. When the film was finally released in 2012, it was left fragmented and uneven due to missing key scenes that were filled with narration to explain the gaps. Natalie Wood made a name for herself as a talented actor from the time she was a child. She is best known for films like Rebel Without a Cause and West Side Story. Sadly, her mysterious death is one of the most enduring parts of her legacy. Authorities classified her death as an accidental drowning in 1981, but rumors still abound about what truly happened to her. At the time of her death, she was filming the movie Brainstorm opposite Christopher Walken. On November 29, 1981, he accompanied Wood and her husband Robert Wagner on a late-night yacht cruise off the coast of Southern California. And in the early morning hours, Woods and Wagner got into an argument, and she somehow ended up overboard and drowned. There has been a lot of talk about Wagner's involvement, but there has never been enough evidence to charge him. To finish the movie Brainstorm, filmmakers enlisted the help of Wood's sister, Lana Wood, who stood in for Natalie Wood in the remaining missing scenes. Heath Ledger became a quick-witted heartthrob in 10 Things I Hate About You, and quickly moved on to more dramatic roles. On the 22nd of January 2008, Ledger was found dead in his apartment after an overdose of prescription drugs. The 28-year-old actor had already completed his most iconic performance as the Joker in The Dark Knight, for which he'd win an Oscar. But unfortunately, he had yet to finish his work on an ambitious fantasy film called The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Ledger's grieving Hollywood friends ended up coming together to save the film, and with some minor script changes, they brought in Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell, 3 of Ledger's closest friends, to portray facets of Ledger's character in his remaining scenes. Nancy Marchand has had many roles in her lifetime, but she is best known for her role as Tony Soprano's mother in The Sopranos. After a long battle with lung cancer, Nancy sadly died in 2000, after 2 seasons of the show, and at a time when Livia and Tony's relationship was a prominent storyline, with Livia being a rather abusive patriarch. Upon her death, there was obviously no way they could recast her, and because it was mid-season, the only thing they could do was write her off the show by having her die in her sleep. But this happened after they made the strange decision to CGI her face onto a body double in order to give some closure to her and Tony's relationship. Luke Perry is best known for his role in Beverly Hills 90210, but he also appeared in 8 Seconds and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. In 2019, Perry was in his 3rd season playing Fred Andrews, Archie's father, in the very popular CW show Riverdale. On March 4, 2019, the star suffered a stroke and died, and Riverdale was determined to give him and his character a fitting tribute. During the Season 4 premiere, the other cast of characters pay their respects to both Luke and his character Fred. Also at the time of his death, production was wrapping for the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The scenes for his part as real-life actor Wayne Maunder had already been filmed prior to his passing, and this marked Luke Perry's final on-screen performance. Funny man John Candy was known for playing portly, lovable underdog characters in movies like Stripes, Uncle Buck, and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But due to the actor's considerable size, he struggled with weight-related health issues for most of his life. While filming the 1994 movie Wagons East in Mexico, everything seemed fine. But on the night of March 3, 1994, after cooking members of the crew dinner to celebrate a great day of filming his final scenes, he went to bed. The following morning, everyone woke up to discover that John Candy had passed away from a heart attack in his sleep. Because all of Candy's scenes were already complete, finishing the movie was much easier, and it was released later that summer. Philip Seymour Hoffman was heralded as one of the most talented actors in Hollywood. However, despite all of his success, he could never shake his drug addiction, having gone to rehab several times over the course of his life. While working on the final Hunger Games movie, Mockingjay Part 2, Hoffman was sadly found dead in his bathroom in February of 2014, with reports later stating that he died from intoxication by a deadly combination of heroin and prescription drugs. While he was almost complete with his work on the Hunger Games trilogy, a couple of key scenes had to be reworked because of his absence. Mockingjay Part 2 turned out to be his final film, and they honored his memory with a dedication, and it went on to become a very successful film. Paul Walker is known for his role as Brian O'Connor in the Fast and Furious franchise. During the production of Furious 7 in 2013, Paul was making an appearance at one of his charity foundation events on November 30th. That's when he and his friend Roger drove away in a Porsche Carrera at a high rate of speed. While driving, his friend lost control of the speedster and violently crashed into a concrete lamppost, instantly crushing the car and igniting it into flames. Both men were killed instantly, leaving friends, fans, and family around the world shocked. Because Furious 7 was mid-filming, Paul's brothers, Caleb and Cody, had to step in to help complete his final movie, as Paul's face was digitally added to their bodies in the final scenes of the movie. The move had fans wondering what the final shots would look like, and the movie became a huge blockbuster that retired Paul Walker's character rather than killing him off. Chris Farley is best known for being the big funny man on SNL and starring in his own movies Tommy Boy and Black Sheep. But did you know that he was also slated to provide the voice of the green ogre Shrek? In fact, he had already finished recording 80% of the dialogue for the film, but unfortunately his health was spiraling dramatically and his consistent substance abuse only made matters worse. Despite his best efforts to go to rehab and get back on his feet, he was found dead in his apartment on December 18th, 1997. Farley had died from an overdose of cocaine and morphine after a night of partying, and the comedy world was left stunned. His extensive network of Hollywood friends turned out for his Wisconsin funeral, and the Shrek project was put on hold while they rewrote the script. Ultimately, Mike Myers was cast as Farley's replacement, and the rest is history, as the movie was a big hit for DreamWorks and would go on to produce 3 sequels and 2 spin-offs throughout the years. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything, and please consider subscribing and sharing Recollection Road Entertainment with someone you know. If you enjoyed this video, consider watching this playlist. As always, thank you so much for watching.